What's going on, guys? In today's video, I'm going to break down all the trades that I took today, primarily in NASDAQ. I took a few in US 30 as well, which I will cover, but primarily in NASDAQ. I did record the entire trading session other than about the last 15 minutes because I had to switch computers and didn't realize that I wasn't recording my correct screen. So I wanted to do this breakdown first, and I'll include a sped up version of the entire trading session, which was about 3 hours long, at the end of this video. So first things first, I want to start off on a daily chart because I want to show you guys what I was initially thinking today, and just ignore this position that I have on. This is just, I'll explain it in a bit. So here, basically one of the things that I was looking at today during the AM session is if you look 2 days ago on Monday, we had just traded right below this daily low. And today I was anticipating a potential run higher into this fair value gap here on a daily time frame. So if you look, we have this candle to this candle. This is a daily fair value gap. I was anticipating a slight retracement into that today. So we opened up here. Ideally, I was looking for it to poke up and then continue lower. As you can see, we didn't get that. We ended up taking out the low and closed bearish. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and we'll jump into the charts now, and I'll break everything down for you guys. So this daily low, key daily level, is that daily low that I just showed you guys right here. So just keep that in mind. And initially, when I sat at the charts this morning, I was looking for a continuation higher because we had came off of this key daily level. As you can see here, this ultimately left relatively equal lows, right? So that's the one thing I didn't necessarily like. But if you look here, we had a stop run and then we had displacement higher and the market was just kind of climbing up. So unfortunately for me, I got in at the tail end of the move. So this was around 8:33. So just shortly after the CME open. So I went long here, anticipating this to be a low to hold because we had traded into this fair value gap, which was right around the 50% fib as well. If we draw our fib from, I'm messing everything up. So from this to this, you can see we trade right down into the 50%, we hold true, and then we go higher. So once I seen this held as support, I went long on this candle, anticipating this to be a swing low, and just captured a little bit, 15 pips, and then it turned around on me. So I got stopped out here. Stop was resting below this low. You can see here, this was a pyramid position. I was looking for a continuation higher, which is what that X is here. But ultimately we sold off and I got stopped out on this position here as well. So once I seen this fair value gap here that we traded into and we sold lower, which took out my buy orders here. Let me remove this fib. That allowed me to switch my bias. So immediately I'm looking at this fair value gap overlapping with this bearish order block. So you can see I took a short position here, which was absolutely perfect in my opinion. I mean, right on the high, literally no drawdown at all. So as the market started pushing lower, I closed first partial here below this low. And another portion here, another portion here, and another portion here. So this pretty much mitigated the 2 losses I had taken initially. So you guys will see that in the recording at the end of this video. And then you can see here, I ended up going long. So this was a bullish order block. So I took a long here with 1 standard lot and took the majority of the position off here, which was 1 standard lot. Oh, okay. I went long with more than 1 standard lot, but it's just not showing me. I don't know what the amount was. It was probably 1 to 3 standard lots, but I took off 1 here and looks like I got stopped with 3. Okay, so I must have took 4. So I took off 1, got stopped on 3. So took another buy here, as you can see, and I was wrong on that as well. So initially in the morning session, aside from this 1 sell position, my bias was a little off. You know, I definitely felt more attached to the markets today. I definitely didn't feel in my element, if you will. And I became very emotional. So you'll see that I've taken a lot of trades today, and it's not something that I typically like to do. One of the things I've learned from my experience is, the less trades you take, the better. Just focus on precision and quality setups with low risk. Like this, for example, right? We had the market structure shift here, run on buy stops, boom, take the short, close the partials. This is me really just doing more than necessary, trying to take these trades, going, shifting gears and going on the other side. I shouldn't have even done that. So I waited, and then this was 9:30. So 9:32, this is 9:30 right here, 9:32. Trades into this fair value gap, but I missed that because I was pretty much married to this long bias here. So I got stopped out, and then kind of shook me up a bit. So then I waited, and but yes, I missed this entry opportunity. But this was a beautiful sell on NASDAQ, which you can see right here, this fair value gap. And I know I have a lot of stuff going on my charts right now. I just wanted to keep everything as is to really show you guys what I was interpreting with price action this morning. So when you see the live recording at the end of this video, it will make a ton of sense. So this fair value gap, beautiful entry at around 9:32. So 2 minutes after the open, and then we sell off. So I went short here again, impulsive entry, just not being patient. Ended up closing that early. Immediately went long after, got stopped out on that. Tried taking a long here as well, got stopped out on that. So you can see I had a pretty rough morning. Just really trying to pick the low and going off of this blue line, which is at key daily level, just trapping me up. I'm a little disappointed in myself because I was having that almost like retail mentality this morning, which, as you guys know, if you study ICT, that's not something we need to concern ourselves with, because the concepts that we understand are exactly how that algorithm works and, in fact, how the markets move. So you guys can see these are the losses I've taken, and then what we'll scrub to over here. Went long initially here off this fair value gap after we had the stop run down here. Took partials. So this was 5 lots. So closed a couple pips there, mitigated a few of these losses. And then I went long on this fair value gap as well right here. So this was beautiful, traded up, but ultimately took another position here. Closed that at break even, and then took a stop on this position here, right? So break even on this one, break even on this one. So I'm currently in no trades. I have no longs at this point of the day, right? So this is around 10:50. So what I'm anticipating at this point is the 11 a.m. hour to see expansion higher, because we've already done a lot of work on the downside. I was anticipating a run higher. So this right here, break a market structure after a sell stop run, trades into the fair value gap, rallies, beautiful, trades into this fair value gap, slight little rally, ultimately one more drop lower, clearing out the sell stops, hitting into this fair value gap, and then we took off. So it stopped me out here, and then it went off to the races. So you can see I took another impulsive entry here. As we're pushing up, for whatever reason, I decided to go long right above this high, almost like a typical retail breakout type of thing. So I ended up sitting through some drawdown with this one, which you guys will see. But really the I would say bread and butter position was right here. So you guys can see it's right into this fair value gap. And then if we draw our fib from low to high, you can see 50%. So as soon as we traded into that, boom, I went long, right? So I was long here and then took another long here, right? So at this point, my mentality is I want to mitigate the losses taken so far for the day, which I believe at this point in the day was about $400. So I had to make $400 back in order to end the day, at least break even or in a slight profit, right? So you can see this was the entry, this was the other entry, and targets were hit, right? So I closed partials here as we traded into the New York midnight hour, made new highs, closed another partial, and take profit was ultimately hit up here, which if we zoom out, is right up here, is this high. So I just had my take profit right before that high. So you can see, I had my take profit right here. The high is right here. So almost there, but I like to set take profits a couple pips or points short of the high, because sometimes you'll see it'll turn around and reverse. In this case, it poked above it and then turned around, but I've seen it time and time again where it will just work right below that level and turn around. So I always tend to set my take profits like this. So you can see that mitigated the losses. And these right here are just some levels that I was marking out as the market was trading. So you can see this bullish order block acted nicely. Fair value gap set up in here. Beautiful. So a couple more entry opportunities here, but since I had taken all these losses over here to the left, I just wanted to use these two positions to mitigate all losses on the day. So I ended up ending the day with about 15 bucks of a loss. So if I go here, you guys can see negative $15. So my account balance is at 20,465. I started the day around 20,480. So yeah, that was it for today. I'm going to go ahead and splice in the sped up version of all these trades so you can see it live. The only thing that you guys won't be able to see is this full trade right here come to fruition, because that's the point when I close my computer down. So this is at 11:03, 11:10. So it's about the last hour or so, but just know that these are the positions here that mitigated everything. But you guys will see all these losses I took and everything like that live, because again, I'm going to keep it fully transparent with you guys. I made some mistakes today. I took some losses. I want to make sure that you guys see all that. But at the end of the day, as long as you know how to mitigate your losses, you should never be worried about taking losses. So I can take these losses back here, even though I was over trading, and still mitigate them. So a lot of lessons learned for me today. Looking forward to FOMC tomorrow and seeing if there's any setups after that. Just a word of caution, be careful if you're going to be operating in the markets tomorrow. I would personally recommend do not take any trades until after the FOMC numbers have released. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, I'm going to splice in the sped up version right now for you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.